This video is made possible by RCP, a leading brand of automotive lighting and accessories available on Amazon.com. Well, I'm under the hood of my Prius again. You see, I've done videos before on LED headlights, and I've gotten some criticism, some feedback from comments that said LEDs look great up close and they seem to be brighter, but in reality, LED light doesn't travel as far as halogen light. And that kind of blew my mind. It just doesn't seem right to me. So I'm going to actually confirm or deny that that's bunk, because I think it is. So that's what I'm doing today. Coming up. The bulbs I'm going to be using today are these new ones from RCP. They are model K7, focusing LED light. And the big thing about these, actually it's not a big thing, it's a small thing. It's all about the size, because when you're talking LED lights, size matters. LED technology is getting better and better. And what I mean by that is they're making the LEDs smaller and smaller. These LEDs actually measure 1.8 millimeters across, which is the exact same as the thickness of the filament inside this halogen bulb. And the length of the LED is the same as the filament as well, which is about 4.8 millimeters. So they really are getting good at making them smaller and keeping the brightness. So that said, they're also smaller in this direction too. The fan itself is tiny on these bulbs, and they're really lightweight. They're not very expensive. And it comes with a driver in line, and all I have to do is replace them. I'm going to put a halogen in one side and the LED in the other, and we're going to do a head-to-head comparison. So that's what I have planned for today. Now, replacing these on my car is super easy. I'm just going to take the old one out here. So I'm swapping these out with my old LEDs, which you could see have a thin LED filament on it, but there's 4 of them, whereas on the new one there's only 3, so it's not as long. What that should do is give me better focused light. The other thing is these have a fan, which makes for a smaller design, whereas this is a big heat sink. So just 2 different designs. We're going to see how these compare and hold up to the halogens. These bulbs are polarized. On the connector it says there's a positive and negative. So you want the positive side to go to this red lead here. On the driver there is also a positive and negative. Now you may not know which way is right, so before you insert the bulb, you got to try it out. Sometimes you get it wrong, sometimes you get it right. Now I happen to know through trial and error that the one color of the wire on my connector is positive, so I know this will work. And now I'm just going to try them out and verify. So now I know I have them wired correctly. So if they don't go on immediately, you know that's what the problem is. Now I'm just going to insert it to replace the other bulb. Now to conduct my first test, I'm going to do it the same way I have in the past, using a yardstick from the lights themselves, just to get a baseline. And this time I got myself a new light meter. This one is digital, and it has a peak setting, so I don't have to search for the hot spot. I could just move it around, and it will automatically record the highest setting. So that's what I'm going to do now. I'm going to turn off these lights and turn on those lights. Okay, the other good thing about this light meter is that it has a backlight, first of all, and it has multiple ranges. So I'm going to put it on the times 10 range, and I'm on the peak setting here. The highest I'm getting is 398. That's times 10, so 3980 lux. This one goes to 564 is the highest that I got over here. So the LED is absolutely brighter from the beginning. And that's 3 feet away using a yardstick. All right, this is test number 2. And you can see the halogen is on the left and the LED is on the right. And a nice crisp line across, because of course these are projector bulbs or projector headlight housings. Now the problem is there's wash from both sides, right? A little bit of this light gets on that side and a little bit of that light gets on this side. So to do my test number 2 with my light meter, I'm going to cover up each bulb. Put the backlight on, hold it for peak, and then I'm going to look. Let's see. This is just lux. All right, the highest I get here is 158. That's from the halogen. 158 versus 296. That's lux. So that's almost twice as bright at this distance. Okay, my neighbors are going to think I'm nuts, but I'm trying it from my mailbox to this tree, which appears to me roughly about 75 feet. I don't think it matters, the distance. It just matters relative, because I'm just going to measure the two. So let's see here. And I'm going to change the range to be 1/10 of a lux. All right, it appears 9.4 lux at this distance. That's the halogen bulb. I got 18.9 is the peak at the same distance on the LED bulb. So now I'm going to tabulate this data and give you the results. All right, so what I've done is I've taken the data that I just captured, these 3 tests, 3 feet, 15, 75 feet, for each of the 2 bulbs, the LED and the halogen, and these were the brightnesses. And the first thing I did was I did a comparison that showed, at 3 feet, the LED is 42% brighter than the halogen. At 15 feet, it's 87% brighter, and at 75 feet, it's 101% brighter. Now, when I plot these brightnesses on this chart, it's not that impressive. But if you look at it in a log scale, what they show you is that the further away you get, the greater the distance between the 2 brightnesses. In other words, the halogen doesn't travel as far. At close distances, it's brighter in comparison than it is at further distances. These lines are diverging, which means the halogen is losing brightness faster than the LED is losing brightness. Otherwise, they would be parallel the whole way. And that's not the case. And the other thing you can do is you can see, if you take this blue line and you were to extend it out all the way so that it's even with the bottom of this one, right? That would be somewhere in the neighborhood of 120, 130 feet. At 75 feet, you saw how dim that halogen was while I was testing it. I would have to walk another 50 feet or so before the LED was that dim. That means the same bulbs in the same car are giving me an extra 50 feet of visibility. That's significant. Now, these bulbs put out about 8,000 lumens, which are pretty much competitive with other high-end bulbs that are on the market today. The difference is these have such a small filament. That tiny focused filament enables that light to travel further because it's so much brighter in that direction. Because they've got such a tiny focused filament, they are great for halogen replacement in projectors like mine, as well as reflector headlight housings. They're easy to install because of the small size, and they include free anti-flicker capacitors that other brands actually charge for. You may pay $8 for a pair of capacitors like that, but these are included for free. The price for performance on these bulbs is incredible. They're about half of what you'll pay for other high-end bulbs. And for a limited time, they're offering an exclusive discount for HandyDadTV subscribers. Just check the link in the video description. And thanks for watching. Visit my website, HandyDadTV, for more great ideas and information. Be sure to subscribe to be the first to know when new videos are posted.